This is a 1953 Ford F5 pickup truck. Well, it might make more sense to call this a future Speedster. At this moment, it's more of the sum of its parts than it is a pickup truck, but it does have everything that I need, despite the condition. Here, maybe this will help explain. So the Ford Flathead doesn't really matter for this one. The customer doesn't want it. He actually wants a straight six of some sort. It doesn't matter what it is. But for a Speedster, you want leaf springs in the front for that classic look. And the Ford F5 pickup truck came with these huge, I think 14-inch drum brakes, if I remember correctly. And they're absolutely ginormous, but work really, really well when you take off all the weight. It also has a 4-speed unsynchronized transmission with a handbrake on the transmission itself. It has a big piece of lead that I found underneath one of the tires. Apparently they are very much unbalanced, but we got a huge chassis to work with and leaf springs in the rear as well. So it has everything I need, albeit some of them are a little broken, but there's enough left that what I'm working with will suffice, especially for the plans that I have for this thing. Now, it did come with some extra goop, I want to say. This was an old manure truck, and I'm hoping that's grease, not the former. So, in order to make a Speedster, first, chop off what you don't need. That included everything pretty much from the center of the chassis back. That's about 8 feet of chassis I did not need. Soon this flathead will be removed too, and using this adapter we will put in a Chevy straight six. That's right, a Chevy straight six will power this Ford chassis. You put in some seats and mock up the grill, and can you see it now? That looks like a Speedster, right? It looks exactly like a Speedster. You can see the new springs that I'll be using in the front, since some of them are broken already, but I'll be keeping a straight axle. And here you go. Bam! Add an engine, add a radiator, move the leaf springs forward a little bit, and put in some not broken ones, and make a body out of the old sheet metal. You can see a lot of it was reused there. You got the old fenders are now in the rear. They used part of the roof to fill in the fender wells, and the old door skins are now the firewall, or cowl, I should say. And here's the floor. It's just a big old sheet of 3/4-inch plywood with the holes cut out for the battery access and the brake master cylinder access, which I swapped out for a dual master cylinder because a single is a bit dated, so that wasn't going to work. And here is the fuel tank, which will be from an old air compressor that was all worn out, so but it should be clean inside. And bam, here you go. That's all it takes to build a Speedster. And you can hear it running, and it runs like a sewing machine. It is wonderful. I'll let you hear it. As you can see, this is a running and driving Speedster. It moves down the road incredibly well. There's a lot of torque for very little weight. But, you know, there's a little bit more nuance to it. You know, like the grill there is from a 36, I think, big truck. The wheels are cut down from the original wheels and use old wooden spoke wheels as the outers. Quarter elliptical spring is now the top mount of a 4-link suspension with a panhard bar that I welded in. And you can see again on the body that a lot of it was just cut down from the old truck itself. Whatever sheet metal I had left, I used. I didn't use any extra. This is all from the original truck. And I'm responsible for the booger welds on it, but I wanted it to be held together fairly well, and I wanted it to look like somebody built it in their shed, which I did. So the seats, I'm not sure what they're out of. I think they're like J.C. Whitney from circa 1978, but they're actually pretty comfortable. So thank you for watching, and sorry for how quick this was. I'll try to be better about the next one.